We got less than a month, folks. Hunter Biden taking to court, military order to the borders. So first, Hunter Biden, he needs to sit down for a sworn deposition to answer more questions about his investments, his art sales, and other financial transactions related to a paternity case that involves a former stripper and their daughter. Do you guys know how much Hunter Biden is giving in monthly child support? Just take a quick guess down in the comments down below. I'd love to see what you guys come up with. All right, so I'm not sure where he finds all this money, but he's giving $20,000 a month in child support. Now, that's a lot of money, don't you think? U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, she's warning that the United States could fall into a default as early as June 1st. She's trying to have House and Senate leaders address this urgently, as she says that this could cause serious harm to our country. If only the debt limit was transitory, right? Then we wouldn't have any problems. Former President Donald Trump has had his share of problems with particular news networks in the past, although the boycott is coming to an end as he's decided to now return to CNN. I guess he's realized that he's not going to convince many people, especially Democrats and independents, to vote for him if he just sticks to what's safe. Well, what do you guys think about this? What do y'all think about Trump going back to CNN? President Biden may be admitting a harsh reality as he's given the go-ahead to have active duty troops guard the borders as Title 42 expires. The expectation is that more than 10,000 illegal immigrants are expected to cross the borders on a daily basis after Title 42. Now, on a daily basis, that's insane. 10,000 people coming into the country? It might get a little packed here. Now, although the White House has said that illegal immigration has gone down by more than 90%, I gotta ask you guys, do you guys agree with that? Hit me up in the comments down below. And two senators are saying that U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken lied to Congress, and now they want the truth about his connection to Hunter Biden. Do you guys think that we also deserve to know the truth? Also, for the very best way to invest in gold, be sure to check out the links down below in the description of this video. So it's taken 7 years, but former President Donald Trump is now finally ready to make his comeback to CNN. He seems to be going about his presidential run with a completely different strategy compared to rivals, with comparisons being made to Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who usually avoids mainstream media. So Trump is participating in a CNN presidential town hall in New Hampshire, with him taking questions from both Republicans and undeclared voters who plan to vote in the 2024 GOP presidential primary. Now, this could also be his way of boosting his image to Democrats and independents who may be undecided about their vote right now. Now, speaking of undecided, it seems like House and Senate leaders can't make up their minds regarding this country's debt ceiling. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen is worried that action won't be taken and that she's now sent a letter to prove her point. So essentially, she's urging Congress leaders to protect the full faith and credit of the United States by acting as soon as possible. And she also said that we have learned from past debt limit impasses that waiting until the last minute to suspend or increase the debt limit would cause serious harm to business and consumer confidence. It would raise short-term borrowing costs for taxpayers and ultimately negatively impact the credit rating of the United States. So President Biden is insisting that the federal debt limit is to be increased without negotiation, something that House Republicans are not necessarily in favor of, as they're calling for spending cuts in exchange for debt limit increases. Man, are we going down to the wire on this thing again? But what do I know? I mean, I'm just guessing that they get this thing done anyway. But don't they always push this thing to like the 11th hour? Now, obviously, this is not something that we can ignore. Unlike how Hunter Biden ignored questions about how his father, President Joe Biden, refuses to acknowledge his unclaimed 4-year-old granddaughter. So Hunter Biden's child support case has recently been reopened as he's requested adjustments to child support payments. And like I said in the beginning, Hunter Biden's giving $20,000 a month in child support. So no wonder he wants to adjust the payments. $20,000 a month, that's a little chunky. Now, he's going to need to sell a lot of those paintings if he expects to keep paying for this. Were you guys aware that his paintings range in prices from $55,000 all the way up to $225,000 per painting? Wow. You gotta wonder, is he really that good? Or is this more of a way to curry favor with the president? Now, whatever the case may be, the first son, Hunter Biden, he has to sit for a sworn deposition to discuss these art sales together with other financial transactions related to his case in requesting to adjust the payments that he's given to ex-stripper Lundy Roberts for their daughter. So his attorney, Abe Lowell, says that Hunter Biden isn't a deadbeat dad and that he wants to let the world know that he is paying what is agreed to. To date, and according to his attorney, Hunter Biden has already provided $750,000 to Roberts. Now, we're not moving too far away from the topic, as Senators Ron Johnson and Chuck Grassley have sent a letter to U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken demanding that he provide all the records that are related to his communication with Hunter Biden. But wait, didn't Blinken just say that this didn't happen? Well, As it turns out, Johnson and Grassley are saying that Blinken provided false testimony. Oh wow. I know that perjury and false testimony are two different things, although a lie is a lie, right? And hey, the laptop only proves that Blinken was indeed not corresponding directly with Hunter Biden. It's been found that Blinken's wife, who was using her personal email address, was the one who was communicating with the first son, Hunter Biden. I mean, that's kind of amazing to hear, right? It's like a loophole within a loophole. Just because he was talking to my wife doesn't mean that he and I were talking. But let me have it, guys. What are your thoughts on this? Or was the senator using his wife's email knowing that he would be able to use this in the future as a loophole? Now, the senators are already asking for all sorts of correspondence sent or received from Hunter Biden to be preserved and provided to them. Now, the question is, will he actually do it? Now, moving on to the southern borders where things seem to be looking good, especially if you asked White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre.
He has tools that he's used to make sure that we do this. We actually deal with the immigration system in a humane way, and in a way that is that actually deals with what we're seeing at the border. And that's why you've seen the parolee program be so successful. It has when it comes to illegal migration, you've seen it come down by more than 90%, and that's because of the actions that this president has taken. But we know that more action needs to be taken. So it has to be legislative action. We're going to continue to call Congress to do that, and so this is important to this president. On day one, he put forth a legislation to move forward on this.
Well, more action's needed, and it shows since the president seems to agree, as he's now made plans to send 1,500 additional troops to the U.S.-Mexico border as Title 42 is set to expire. Sources say that while these troops will be there, they will not perform any law enforcement. Their presence and their task will mostly be set for administrative roles. Right now, there's at least 2,500 National Guard troops at the border, and with them expecting 10,000 illegal immigrants a day, they're gonna have their hands full pretty soon. Pentagon spokesperson Brigadier General Pat Ryan, he said this about the decision to deploy our military to the borders. Quote, for 90 days, these 1,500 military personnel will fill critical capacity gaps such as ground-based detection and monitoring, data entry, and warehouse support until CBP can address these needs through contracted support. End quote. So what are your thoughts on all of today's updates, guys? Go ahead and hit me up in the comment section down below. I love to hear from you guys. I love to hear your different perspectives. Now, on that note, what's your perspective when it comes to our finances? Serious question. Like with all this talk about a debt ceiling, it makes me wonder just how many of us are now at the limit when it comes to our credit cards. Like how many people might be struggling to make mortgage payments, car payments, rent, food and groceries. These are things that I'm reminding of every time I go out. And it's why I look forward to hearing from you guys in the comment section down below. So if you guys want to learn more about side hustles, creating small businesses, home-based businesses that could actually be run from your smartphone, and how investments in the stock market and real estate, even investments in gold and silver can help get us a little bit closer or a lot a bit closer to financial freedom, feel free to drop me some comments down below. I love hearing from you guys, and I'm gonna talk to you guys soon. But before I go, please don't forget to drop a huge like for your boy. I appreciate that. Share this video with a friend, and I'm gonna see you guys on the next one. Be safe.